Most men have no idea they're making this mistake. They think attraction begins with appearance. They think chemistry starts with physical contact. They think if a woman over 40 seems distant, guarded, or difficult to read, the answer is to say the perfect thing, look a certain way, or make a bold move at exactly the right moment. But women rarely tell you the truth directly. Especially women who have lived long enough to understand people. Especially women who have loved, lost, trusted, been disappointed, rebuilt themselves, and learned how to protect their hearts. And that's why most men completely miss the one place every woman over 40 wants to be touched first. Not her hand. Not her shoulder. Not even her body. Her emotions. Her sense of being understood. Her heart. And here's the part that changes everything. The moment a woman feels emotionally seen, something shifts inside her. The walls become softer. The conversation becomes deeper. The connection becomes real. But here's what most men never realize. A woman over 40 is not looking for the same things she looked for at 20. And once you understand why, you'll never approach attraction, relationships, or connection the same way again. After years of studying human behavior, relationship dynamics, emotional intelligence, and the patterns that repeatedly appear between men and women, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The older people become, the less impressed they are by appearances and the more affected they are by emotional experiences. Psychologists have long observed that emotional safety plays a major role in relationship satisfaction. Human beings naturally move closer to people who make them feel understood and valued. And women over 40 often experience this reality more intensely because life has taught them lessons that younger people are still learning. They've seen charm without character. Promises without action. Attention without intention. They've learned that not everyone who pursues them truly understands them. And that is where the hidden psychological principle begins. The first place she wants to be touched is not physical. It's emotional. She wants someone to reach the part of her that the world rarely notices anymore. The part behind the responsibilities. The part behind the strength. The part behind the smile she wears when she's handling 100 things at once. Imagine this. A woman spends years taking care of children, family members, work responsibilities, relationships, and endless expectations. People constantly ask her what she can do for them. Very few stop and ask how she actually feels. Very few notice when she's exhausted. Very few recognize the emotional weight she's carrying. Then one day she meets a man who pays attention. Not because he wants something. Not because he's performing. But because he's genuinely present. Suddenly she feels something she hasn't felt in a long time. She feels seen. And this is where things get interesting. The first psychological insight is that women over 40 crave understanding more than attention. Most men believe attention is attractive. They think compliments create connection. But understanding creates something much deeper. Attention says, I noticed you. Understanding says, I see who you are. Those are two completely different experiences. A compliment may make her smile. Feeling understood can make her remember you for months. Think about the last time someone truly listened to you. Not waiting for their turn to talk. Not trying to impress you. Not trying to fix you. Just listening. That experience leaves an emotional mark. The same thing happens with women. Especially women who have spent years feeling misunderstood. The next point changes everything. Women over 40 are often attracted to emotional confidence more than social confidence. Many men confuse confidence with dominance. They think confidence means talking loudly, controlling conversations, or always having the answer. Real confidence is different. Real confidence is being comfortable enough to be present. It's remaining calm. It's not needing validation every 5 minutes. It's not becoming insecure when she disagrees. It's not panicking when conversations become emotional. A woman over 40 has usually encountered plenty of men who tried to impress her. What stands out is the man who doesn't need to. Picture a woman sharing a personal story. One man immediately starts talking about himself. Another man becomes uncomfortable and changes the subject. A third man simply listens, understands, and responds thoughtfully. Which one creates the strongest emotional connection? The answer is obvious. And yet most men never develop this skill. There's another reason nobody talks about. Many women over 40 want their intelligence acknowledged. Not just their appearance. Not just their role as a mother, professional, or partner. Their mind. Their wisdom. Their perspective. Life has taught them things. They've accumulated experiences. They've survived challenges. And when a man recognizes that, he touches a part of her identity that often goes unnoticed. Imagine telling a woman she's beautiful. She appreciates it. Now imagine telling her that her perspective on life is fascinating. That her insight changed the way you think. That her experience carries value. That creates a different emotional reaction entirely. Because beauty is something many people notice. Wisdom is something far fewer people appreciate. But here's what most men never realize. People become emotionally attached to those who make them feel significant. Not just attractive. Significant. And significance creates connection. The fourth insight is one of the most powerful. Women over 40 often want emotional consistency before emotional intensity. Many men try to create sparks. Excitement. Drama. Mystery. And while those things can create temporary attraction, they rarely build lasting trust. Consistency does. A woman who has lived through enough experiences understands something younger people often overlook. Anyone can be exciting for a weekend. Character reveals itself over time. That's why reliability becomes attractive. Keeping your word becomes attractive. Showing up becomes attractive. Being emotionally stable becomes attractive. Imagine a woman comparing two men. One creates excitement but confusion. The other creates comfort and trust. Over time, guess which emotional experience feels safer? And emotional safety is one of the strongest forms of attraction that exists. The fifth insight goes even deeper. Many women over 40 want to feel chosen, not chased. There's a difference. Being chased can feel flattering. Being chosen feels meaningful. Chosen means a man genuinely values who she is. Chosen means he's not interested because she's available. He's interested because she's her. Think about that for a moment. Every human being wants to feel uniquely valued. Not interchangeable. Not replaceable. Unique. When a woman senses that you appreciate her specific qualities, her personality, her resilience, her humor, her intelligence, her strength, she experiences something far more powerful than attraction. She experiences emotional validation. And emotional validation often becomes the foundation of genuine connection. And this is where things get interesting again. The sixth insight involves vulnerability. Most men assume strong women don't need emotional support. This is one of the biggest misunderstandings in modern relationships. Strong people are often the ones who carry the heaviest burdens. Strong people are often the ones everyone depends on. Strong people are often the ones nobody checks on. Picture a woman who has spent years solving problems for everyone around her. She's capable. Independent. Resilient. The world sees her strength. But beneath that strength is still a human being. Someone who wants understanding. Someone who wants connection. Someone who wants to feel safe enough to let her guard down. When a man creates that emotional environment, something remarkable happens. She stops performing strength and starts sharing truth. And truth creates intimacy. Not physical intimacy. Human intimacy. The kind that makes people feel deeply connected. But here's another hidden layer. Women over 40 often value emotional maturity more than perfection. Many men spend enormous amounts of energy trying to appear flawless. They hide mistakes. Hide insecurities. Hide imperfections. Ironically, this often creates distance. Because perfection feels artificial. Maturity feels real. Maturity means taking responsibility. Learning from mistakes. Handling conflict respectfully. Remaining grounded during difficult moments. Imagine two men. One constantly tries to prove he's perfect. The other openly acknowledges his flaws and continues growing. Which one feels more trustworthy? Which one feels more human? Which one creates deeper connection? The answer becomes obvious when you think about it. Because trust grows in authenticity. Not performance. And authenticity is something many women find incredibly attractive. Now let's talk about something few people discuss. Presence. Real presence. Not being physically there. Actually being there. In today's world, attention has become rare. Everyone is distracted. Everyone is scrolling. Everyone is thinking about the next thing. A man who gives genuine attention has become increasingly uncommon. Imagine sitting across from someone who makes you feel like you're the only person in the room. No distractions. No interruptions. No hidden agenda. Just complete presence. That experience creates a powerful emotional response. Because presence communicates value. It silently says, you matter. And every human being longs to feel that. The deeper truth behind this entire conversation is surprisingly simple. Women over 40 have often moved beyond superficial attraction. Not because attraction disappears, but because experience changes priorities. Life teaches people what actually matters. Character matters. Trust matters. Understanding matters. Emotional safety matters. Consistency matters. Connection matters. And when those things are present, attraction often grows naturally. Without games. Without manipulation. Without pretending to be someone you're not. Now imagine a man who understands all of this. He doesn't rush. He doesn't perform. He doesn't chase validation. Instead, he develops emotional intelligence. He learns how to listen. He learns how to understand. He learns how to communicate with confidence and empathy. Suddenly, relationships stop feeling confusing. Because he understands what many people spend decades missing. That attraction is rarely about saying the perfect thing. It's about creating the right emotional experience. And here's the emotional realization that changes everything. The woman you've been trying to impress may not be looking for perfection. She may not be looking for wealth. She may not be looking for endless excitement. She may simply be looking for someone who makes her feel understood. Someone who notices what others overlook. Someone who respects her experiences. Someone who appreciates her depth. Someone who sees the person behind the image. Think about how powerful that is. Because the same truth applies to you. You want to be understood too. You want someone to see beyond appearances. Beyond achievements. Beyond expectations. At the deepest level, human beings are searching for connection. Real connection. Authentic connection. And that connection begins the moment two people feel emotionally safe enough to be themselves. That's why the place every woman over 40 wants to be touched first is not a physical place at all. It's her emotions. Her heart. Her sense of significance. Her need to feel genuinely seen. When you understand that, everything changes. You stop focusing on tricks. You stop searching for shortcuts. You stop trying to manufacture attraction. Instead, you become the kind of man who naturally creates connection. And that transformation is powerful. Because confidence is not about controlling others. It's about understanding people. Strength is not about dominance. It's about emotional stability. Attraction is not about manipulation. It's about meaningful connection. The men who understand this don't just become more attractive. They become more valuable, more respected, more trusted, and ultimately, more fulfilled. So the next time you meet a woman over 40, remember this. Before you try to touch her hand, touch her emotions with understanding. Before you try to impress her, make her feel seen. Before you try to be interesting, become interested. Because the deepest connections in life are never built on appearance alone. They are built on empathy, respect, presence, understanding. And when a woman feels those things, you've already reached the place that matters most. The heart. And that's where every meaningful relationship truly begins.